Alright, I'm making a recreation right now. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I will be showing y'all how I mark my levels out and what exactly do I look for when I'm marking these levels out. So I like to look at balances, shelves and extremes of balances, or shelves and ledges, which are the extreme. Boom. Right here we have this ledge, so that would be an extreme, which would be a level I will mark out. And this is a 30-day VP, or actually I think this is it's a 33-day VP. In terms of like my TPO and VP and stuff, I just go based off of how much data do I need. So the reason I have this as a 33-day VP is because if we look back in the past, look at where we are right now, or where we made this low at 200 basically, that would be like almost 33 days ago or something like that. Does that make sense? And I need that much data. I need 33 days worth of data, which would be the reasoning on my time range of my VP. This one on the right is a 16-day. I think it stopped right here, 16 days ago, which would be more of a lower time frame. But boom, start up here. We have this balance at this high. Boom, you can see the balance both on the TPO and on the VP, and our lower time frame VP over there. So we have like a ledge. I see this ledge. So we'll have two levels, I guess this one and this one. And 29. Wait, that's a lot of points. So I'll make this a level. And then right here, this shelf, TPO shelf. Boom, and you see how it's 10 points? Perfect. Now, the end of that balance, because balance would be like a D shape. So we have two balances here. So now I'm looking, I want to merge this one. I'm looking at this balance now. This balance, we kind of have this, and then you have like this minor auction that we had down here. You can see we rejected it from that shelf today, right here. Or not today, but a few days ago. Alright, so here we have this 30-day balance. I want to see, are we going to continue to, like, what's the word? Play based off of this previous auction, or are we going to, create new value in different areas and play off of that auction? So as right now, we have this. So So these are our major extremes. Wait. $91, $591, $566. I am. I was trying to see how precise my level was. Or how I could make it more precise. Alright, you see this auction here. See how we held. Nah. So now the rest of these are just continuation levels, to be honest. Alright, all the levels are now plotted. I have most of them plotted. I'm gonna go over them. So I have this TPO composite up here. You can see both my VPs on the left and the right. We have this balance. We have this shelf here and here. We have this shelf here. Or we have a ledge here, shelf here and here. See, we broke out of that balance, came and retested it. I could have a better one here. I don't know, so I'm going to okay, my level's marked out. We have this TPO composite of like probably like a week, March 20 or April. Wait, what month are we in? June, May. So May 26th. So like a week or two. We can have TPO composite right here. We have our balance right here. We have this shelf right here. We have this ledge right here. Then we have this shelf right here. So those are my extremes for that balance. And then we kind of have like this balance here that we ran for like 2 days, or this auction that we created that turned into a balance over a few days. We have that ledge right there. So if I'm looking to take longs, I need to see boom, retest inside of here. So boom, like that. And then we have this 30-day TPO comp right here, or not 30-day TPO comp, but 30-day VP balance, and then TPO comp over 15 days. So 15-day TPO comp, we have this balance extreme at the high, but it's aligned to the most recent auction, which would be this one. And then we have this low down here, which I had marked out, but it was invalid. If we see, let's say right here. I could play it out the first day, but then it kind of just started getting ran through, and you can see we started to build like a little bit of value. Maybe you could scalp off of there, but for long term, I don't know how I feel about that one. Then to continue lower, you have, the shelf that we created throughout one of our most recent auctions. For this balance, we have the low shelf down here, this shelf, which is, the high of this day, the low of this day. Ledge right here, TPO ledge, almost like a LVN shelf on VP. Then we have the shelf on TPO. So the shelves and ledges are mainly what my levels consist of. I don't really like to look at LVNs, but that's very preferential. A continuation level I can have right here, based off my VP. So boom, that's how I mark my levels on my TPO. Now what I want to do is go over to my VP and mark out those same levels. Try to make those levels a bit more precise, probably like 10 to 15 points. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. So 811 to 795. Alright, finish making all my levels, or finish making all my levels precise by using my daily VP. So for example, if you look at this level right here, 283 to 242, that is almost 40 points between each other, and I don't want a 40-point level because that is like a very, very wide area to look at on DOM, which can be very hard or difficult for some people. So what I did was I looked at previous day's auction and what shelf or balance extreme do we have around there, because this level is also a 14 or 15 day, a 10-day shelf, 10-day balance extreme. So to make that level more precise, see the shelf, looking at the shelf that we have here, higher day yesterday, and the little balance we have here, as well as here we have a shelf. So that's how I make my levels more precise. I usually try to make my levels like 10 points, 10 to 15 points, so that can be however much I risk. So if I have a 10-point stop or 10-point level, my stop would be 10 points, which is $200 with one mini, low risk, high RR. With AMT context, you can catch a lot of high RR trades. And that's exactly why I trade AMT. So my levels, shelves, ledges, balance extremes, I trade AMT. So here, this is a ledge. How do we know this is a ledge? Because volume gives a sharp cutoff. Should we have a shelf here? How do we know this is a shelf down here? Because volume is slowly dropping off. There's a difference. And I don't want to look at every single ledge. I don't want to look at every single ledge. I don't want to look at every single shelf. I want to look at the whole balance. So if I put a 30-day VP, I can see a full balance. I see another balance. An even better balance. So that's all my levels consist of. No need to overcomplicate things. Just keep everything as simple as possible.